Hey everyone, welcome back to LinkLitez series. This is going to be a hands-on video for implementing a new feature into our application. So originally this video was supposed to be all about deploying the app, but I took a little detour. While doing some light research about other URL shorteners that are out there, I stumbled across a slick feature on Brandly, the ability to customize your short URLs, and I thought hey, let's actually a really useful feature. It adds a personal touch, makes your link more readable or memorable, and honestly it feels really just more polished. So I hit pause on deployment and decided to build that into LinkLitez first. In this video, I'll walk you through how I implemented the custom URL functionality both on the backend with validation and security and on the front end with a smooth UI update. So without further ado, let's dive in. So in order to customize the short URL that we have generated, what we need to do is we need to actually be able to update this URL in the URL mapping entity or the table. So that the new URL that we have created will point to the original URL that the user wants. So for that, what we need is one small put API. So we'll be creating that right now. I'm going to head to URL mapping controller and I'm going to just copy this. Okay, I'm going to just copy this endpoint, Baumi, and I'm going to paste it, and then I'm going to actually edit this one. So this is a put mapping, so I'm going to say put mapping and I'm going to change the path to short URL / and I'm going to pass one query parameter which is going to be short URL. Okay, and pre-authorize is going to be the same, and we're going to change the entity return type response entity to URL mapping DTO, and going to change the name of this method update short URL because it's a basic update operation. So that is going to be the name. I'm going to actually cut it from here and I'm going to pass it after the two parameters. Also, we don't need these parameters over here, so I'm going to remove these parameters and I'm going to type pin @path variable, and this path variable will be our of type string and it will be our short URL. Okay, then after that we'll be saying @request body, and this will be of type map of string comma string, and I will call this map as request. Okay, this is done. Okay, after this, I'm also going to remove all of these because this is not our code. So okay, now here and okay, now that we have done this, let's write the code. So I'm going to take the short URL, the new short URL that we're going to give using the request, and since this request is a map object, I'm going to say get, and then I'm going to pass the field on in here, the key in here. That key will be our custom URL. Okay, that is done. Then after that, I'll create one user object. I'll say user service dot find by username, and we are going to use the principal object that we are passing over here to get the name.
Okay, and then in the next line, what we're going to do is we're going to create one URL mapping DTO object, and I'll call it as updated mapping is equal to URL mapping service dot update short URL, and I'm going to pass short URL, the new short URL, and the user object in it. Now remember that this method is actually not created yet. We are going to create this in the service layer, but first I'll actually change the response entity return that we are doing here. So instead of that, I'm going to say updated mapping, and I'm going to. So let's now create this method in the service layer. So this method we need to actually check on 3 steps. So first step will be to validate the user ownership. In this step we will actually verify if the particular short URL belongs to that user. Okay, and then after that we are going to check for the uniqueness of the custom URL that the user has specified over there, and then we'll be updating the generated short URL that was generated earlier. We're going to customize it in the 3rd step. So let us actually start. So in the first step, I'm going to say in the first step, before the first step, we are already actually checking this, we are actually using the find by short URL method that is already there in the repository, and now we are going to say dot get username dot equals. So I'm going to pass the object of user, and then I'm going to get the username for that particular object. So inside the if, what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw new runtime exception, and this runtime exception will be basically telling us that the user is not allowed. Okay, after this, what are we going to do here is we're going to do the check for uniqueness. So in this, what we are going to do is we are going to give another condition, and in this condition we are going to check the URL mapping dot exist by short URL, and we are going to pass the new short URL. So this does nothing. This actually just checks that particular new URL is already present in the database or not. And we are going to open this, and if it doesn't exist, we are going to throw new runtime exception, and we are going to say this this URL is already taken. Please try another one. Okay. This will be our custom message, and as you can see, I'm getting one error here in this method. So this method doesn't actually exist, so we are going to create this method, and this will be of type boolean, and I'm going to just propose this. I'm not going to okay, this will not be in the URL mapping. Actually, this will be in this here. So we'll actually check. Okay, so that is why that is why it didn't work. So instead of URL mapping, we have to give URL mapping repository. So this will actually be created in URL mapping repository. So this is good. This is done, and Now what we need to do is we need to go back to our URL mapping service, and you can see this error is now resolved. Now what we'll do is we'll actually be generating the short URL. So we'll be saying URL mapping dot set short URL. I'm going to use the basic setter method, and I'm going to say new short URL here, and we are going to take we are going to create one object of URL mapping. So I'm going to say updated mapping is equal to URL mapping repository dot save URL. So this will actually save the data. And now what we need to do here is we just have to return this updated mapping here. So before updating, I will actually convert this to DTO, and we already have one method that is convert to DTO, and I'm going to pass the updated mapping object here. So this is actually done. I think we have already added this and that as well. So now we just need to actually check this in Postman. So I'm going to do build first. Okay, the build was successful without any errors, so I'm going to run it now. Let's see if everything works perfectly. Okay, we have got some exception here. There is some error we are getting. Okay, integration run failed. Redirect controller unsatisfied dependency expressed to URL mapping service. Let us check what this problem really is. So it says could not create query for public abstract boolean shortener repository exist by short URL. Okay, so we actually okay, I got it. So let's go to the service layer again and find where this exist by short URL is. Yeah, here it is. So it's not actually exist but exists. So we have to add one S as well, because then JP will not be able to identify what type of functionality we need to that JP needs to implement actually. So we have this method, but we'll create it again, and I will actually remove this one. Okay, just a minor typo, I think. Okay, now I'm going to save this again, and then I'm going to build it again. Okay, and I'm going to run it again. Now it's running in live, so I'll head back to Postman and test the flow. So herein I will actually try to log in with an existing account that I have. So this is the account and the username and the password in login. So I'll just click on send, and I've gotten the token as. So I'm going to copy this token, and now I'm going to first check what all URLs I have here. So I'm going to update this token here. This is a get method which lists all our URLs or our URL mappings actually. So I'm going to click on send, and as you can see that I have two URLs over here. First is this one, and second is this one. So the short URL created is this one. So I'm going to copy this short URL as well. Then I'm going to the new endpoint I've already created. I've already added a request over here of the type bot, and this is the path variable wherein we have to pass the short URL, which I'm passing it here. And now I'm going to change the custom URL from over here. So I'm going to say 10% off. Let's do it in caps. And then I'm going to click on, but first I need to also update the token. So I'm going to paste it here, and then I'm going to click on send. It says bad request. Let's check what really happened here. So I'm actually seeing that I have not really changed this path according to the request. So I'm going to say customize short URL, which is why I'm getting a 400 bad request over here. So let us actually save this and stop and rerun again. Okay, it is running. So I'll go back to Postman and I'll have to log in again because the GWT will have been expired, I think. So I'm going to log in again and I'm going to copy this token and I'm going to go to get my URLs. I'm going to change this token. So okay, we are getting. So I'll copy this short URL and I'm going to come to customize short URL and then I'm going to pass it here. And let's actually do over 10. So this, we actually want this particular short URL that we have passed to change to over 10. So let us click on send. So I actually changed the key again and now it is working. Might be some issue, but yeah, this is done. What we can also do here is we can actually create one custom custom exception because in the controller you see that we are actually like updating the short URL, but the whole purpose of creating short URL is to shorten the long URL. But if we allow the user to create really long URLs in the name of customization, so that actually is counterproductive and it defeats the purpose. So instead of that, I'll actually create one custom exception that will restrict the user if he tries to create a particular URL that is more than 15 characters. So let's do that. So let's actually create it. I'm going to click on project. Okay. And then I'm going to, okay, there is no exception folder created, so I'm going to create one package and call it exceptions. And then I'm going to create one Java class and call it short URL too long exception. And I will actually add it to the Git. It will actually extend the runtime exception. And after that, I will actually ask to generate one constructor with message string. Okay, this is done. Pretty easy. IntelliJ handled it for us. And then in the service layer, I'm going to throw it. So, okay. Below this, I'm going to new short URL is greater than new short URL dot length is greater than 15. I am going to say throw new short URL too long exception, and I'm going to pass in the method passing this message that custom URL should be under 15 characters. Okay, this is done. And then in the controller layer, what I'm going to do is I'm actually updating the short URL. So this is where I'm updating the short URL. So I'll be putting this into a try and catch block. So actually let us take this line. Let us actually surround these two lines. I'm going to cut them for now and put them inside the try block, and then I'm going to catch the custom exception that I just created, which is short URL too long exception, and then I'm going to handle this. So in the catch block, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just say return response entity dot status, and I'm going to pass in http status dot payload too large. Wait a second. You can also pass the status code as 413. They are both the same thing. And I'm going to then also say body.collections for this class. And okay, we have not actually given the object over here. So yeah. Then I'm going to have one other catch block as well for like any other exception that occurs. So I'm going to write a runtime exception ex. Actually, let's do one thing. Let's just copy this, as this is going to be the same. Okay, this is good. But payload, instead of payload too large, I'll say internal server error. Okay. So yeah, we are done with this part as well. This is good. Now actually let us make changes to the front end so that we can consume this API. So this is how our front end looks like right now. In the manage link sections, we have copy, analytics and delete button. Now what I want to do is I want to create one another button for, maybe we can call it customize, and I want it after the copy button and before the analytics button, in between these buttons. And upon clicking them, we can get like a prompt wherein which we will ask the user to specify the particular short URL that he wants to give, and therein we can consume the API that we have created in the backend. So for that, what we'll do is we'll head back to the front end part first. And I'm going to stop this for a minute. And now what we're going to do is it is basically present in the dashboard layout component. So I'm going to open the dashboard layout component. I'm going to search the component wherein we need to make the changes. So I'm just going to scroll down a bit. Okay, this is the analytic graph section and manage link sections. So herein, see, this is why adding the comments is very important in your code, so that you know what section you are in and what is going on in the code. Otherwise, you don't have an idea. Then this is the shortened URL list, and we are actually calling another component here. That is the shortened URL list. I'm going to open this using Control and click. Then inside we have the shorten item. So this is the component that we're looking for. So in this component, I have, okay, this is the return, and we have this copy to clipboard. Yeah, so that copy that was in the front end, this is there, and then after that analytics button. So we are on the right track. So what we want to do is between this copy button and analytic button, we want to add another button. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to just enter, and first I'm going to add one comment over here to denote that this is our customized button. Okay, now I'm going to create one more div with okay, I'm going to just create one div, and I'm going to actually what we can do is we can take the already existing properties from the div above. I'll copy this and I'm going to just paste it here. Now, okay, I think there is a quote missing, and after that I'm going to change the color here. Here we are giving the blue color. Instead of that, I'm going to give it a okay, I'm going to remove this button color, and I'm going to give it as a yellow color and 500. That is going to be fine. We'll save this, and after that then let us just put it in another line, and then I'm going to add one on-click event here, and inside this on-click I'm going to call the handle customize, and I'm going to pass in the short URL. Now this method actually this function actually doesn't exist yet. We are going to create this in a short while, but before that let us actually complete this. So after, let me bring it down, then I'm going to add one button tag, and I'm going to put in customize as the label, and then I'm going to call in md edit, and I'm going to give it class name as text md. Now if you're wondering what this md edit tag is, it is actually a tag from material UI which we have used in our project to get like predefined icons and components. So MUI is basically a library for React provided by Google, and most of Google's UI design is created using MUI only. So we're making use of that, and I think we are done. Now what we need to do is we need to just create this handle customize function. So let me do that. So I'll actually will go to the top, just below this use effect I'm going to create it. So I'm going to say const handle customize is equal to now we're going to make distinction from current short URL to our existing short URL. So that is why I'm saying current short URL instead of short URL. And then I'm going to actually create another variable for custom URL, and I'm going to store the value that we are gonna get from the prompt, and I'm going to show the message enter your custom short URL. Actually, yeah, we can do it like that. And after that, in the new line, I'm going to just check one condition. First one is that if custom URL is empty, or if custom URL dot length is greater than 15, we are going to return one toast message, toast.error. Custom URL must be 15 characters or fewer. Okay. And we are going to say return. Now after this, if condition is checked, I'm going to create one try block, and inside this try block I'm going to actually call in one more thing. This handle customize will be a async function, and now inside the try block I am going to call the API.put. Now actually I already have like one API.js existing, wherein I'm declaring the base URL, and we are taking that base URL from the environment file .env file. So then I'm going to do one API.put. So it is basically one wrapper of Axios only. So I'm going to say API.put. I'm going to add the URL or the path that will be required here. The path is customize short URL. Then I'm going to pass in the custom URL. So in new short URL, I'm going to pass the custom URL, and then I'm going to declare the headers and all. Actually, we can take the headers and everything from existing API call. So here, that is, I'll just do one copy, and I'm going to paste it down below. So headers is there, the content type is there, except it will accept application/JSON, and the authorization is bearer token. And after this, I'm going to close this, and here and there is a mistake because we have, okay, I think this is an extra one, that is why we are getting this error. Closing the headers here, and if we remove this, we are closing this as well, and yeah, that works for us. After this try block is over, before this try block, inside here I'll actually do this toast.success, and I'm going to say short URL updated successfully. And I'm going to call refetch, so that the value that is customized now is instantly visible on the screen or the console. So after that, after the try block, we'll call the catch block over here, and I'm going to pass in the error, and I'm going to get this status first. So we are going to get the state error or the response status. as well as we are going to take in the message that is coming from the response as well. So error dot okay, if this is not if there is no message, we'll give this generic message that something went wrong. Okay, I'll close this and then I am going to check for statuses. So first I'll check for status 413. I'm sorry, this will be 413, but we'll have to give triple equal to, and after that toast.error, I'll say, I'll just copy this one actually. It is way too easy when you have to copy. So instead of something went wrong, this 413 is basically for if the payload is too large, and since we have given it in our condition that if the particular short URL is longer than 15 characters, then we'll not be accepting that request. So I'll give it more specific message, that is URL is too long. Okay, after that I'll put another condition over here, and I'm going to check if the status is equal to 400 if it is a bad request, or if the API is not found, or if the so we are going to put another toast error message, and it will directly be the message only, what we are actually storing there. And then there will be a last condition, default condition, wherein we'll be showing the toast.error failed to customize short URL. So that will be it, and we can actually print this on the console as well. We can log this. So instead of console.log, I'll say console.error, and I'll pass the error object over here. Now actually there is one more thing to be considered here. I have seen that in cases of URL encoding, what happens is if there are some special characters, like if we are giving a percentage sign, or if we are giving a hashtag, or if we are giving a dollar sign, these are actually converted to their equivalents. So our code actually breaks in those cases when special characters are involved. So for that, what we can do is we can actually call in a method to actually change the input to our API. Like you cannot actually expect end user to not use these special characters. Like for example, if the user is, like for example, if you are doing a campaign and you are actually shortening the URL for that particular campaign, so you can always come across terms like 50% off and all. So if a company is promoting something and all, so they can give you like an they can have like a requirement to give the short URL as 50% off or something like that. So in that case, they will definitely be using those special characters. So how do we handle that on the front end? Let's check out right now. So as you can see, we have created the condition first, and after that in the try block, what I'm going to do is, instead of directly passing the custom URL over here, I'm going to create one variable. So I'm going to actually write const and then encode, actually call it encoded URL, and then encode URI component. This method will actually help us encode those special characters into their equivalents and hence save us from any trouble here. So instead of custom URL, I'm going to store this current short URL into encoded URL. And after that, I'm going to pass this encoded URL directly into the API call in the request in the query parameter. Yes. So let's actually test our changes. So I'm going to start this development server now. And I'm going to head back to this dashboard. I'll have to reload it once. I think we have added something wrong here. Okay, let me head back to this. Okay, let us see where the error is. Okay, yeah, we have actually added one dot after the prompt. Let's save this again. And actually let me, okay, it is saved. Let us check if it is working now. Yeah, you can see that there is one button here, customize and MD edit. The icon provided is of that of edit, and the other buttons are there as well. So I'm going to just click on customize, and I'm going to give whatever we can give some placeholder value. I think the backend is not yet running, so yeah, okay, so I actually started the backend server. Now let's try customizing this particular URL. Let us say 10% off and click on OK, and you can see that there we got the toast message and the link is changed to 10% off. So that is how we have actually implemented the feature here.
So that was all about the feature update, and in the next video I'll be showing you the easiest way to deploy this application. So stay tuned and subscribe to my channel.